Thank you very much, Dr. Paz, Dr. Caoili, and Dr. Camagay for your very fascinating and well-considered remarks. I will introduce our author in a minute, but first I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Dean of the College of Social Sciences and Philosophy, Dr. Grace Dalisay. No relation, but I would be happy to be her big brother. I hope that you young people sitting there take this experience not only as a lecture, but as an inspiration, just listening to some of our very best scholars explain their work and how they look at things, and that you can see yourselves, like 10 years down the road, as being doctors of something, this and that. I mean, just listening to such erudition should inspire you. If you know what erudition means, you know what erudite means, then you are probably going down that road. Let me now introduce our author, who will be happy to join us in this open forum. She is Dr. Maria Mercedes, or Merce Planta, an associate professor at the Department of History here at UP Diliman. She earned her BA and MA in History in UP and her PhD in History from the National University of Singapore. She is the former Deputy Director of both the Third World Studies Center and the UP System Information Office, as well as former coordinator of the UP Diliman Center for International Studies East and Southeast Asia Program. Traditional Medicine in the Colonial Philippines, 16th to the 19th century, is her first and certainly won't be her last book-length publication. So welcome, Merce. We have an hour to go, so we have a lot of time for talking. And I will begin as moderator with the first question, which I hope you can follow up. Dr. Planta, could you please tell us why, of all the possible research topics out there, you were drawn to traditional medicine in the colonial Philippines? And as a follow-up to that, why should it be important to 21st century Filipinos to know about these medicines and how they were used? And maybe lastly, taking off from something that I read in the foreword, why is it that many of these medicines, despite, I suppose, massive anecdotal evidence, why do so many of them still carry that burden of the label of no proven therapeutic value?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much to Institute of Creative Writing for featuring my book. And I am really very honored that my panelists came and gave me time and effort to read my book and to comment on it. I know they are very busy. Special thanks to Professor Dalisay, because he is also very busy. And to Neil Garcia of UP Press. My motivations for this book is I was with the history department for the longest time. My department's strength was always the Philippine Revolution. It is an amazing period of Philippine history. But when I was doing my graduate school in the history department, I figured that while the revolution is an interesting topic, I wanted to do something else. And I wanted to do a history that could be really usable in the practical sense. So, my family is a family of medical doctors. I am the only social science person. And so I was thinking, maybe I could also do something to be able to relate to all of them. And so I figured that this should probably be it. Now, the choice of traditional medicine, as Dr. Camagay has told you, the period covered is very long. So, in traditional medicine in the Philippines, it's not only about one thing. It's not only about medicinal plants. It it is about a range of different medical practices. But to cover centuries, I wanted a history that is practical, a history that is readable. You know, that when people read it, they think they're just reading something that's very easy. I wanted it at times to be entertaining, so you can see the title and the table of contents, but I made an attempt to make it, you know, like very interesting. And I wanted to be able to tackle the 16th to the 19th century in a very manageable way. So from the very first beginning of the book, it is very clear that this will only focus on traditional medicinal plants. Because if I focus on something else, then I will probably never finish. Number two, and to be able to talk about the healers on their own, they merit a book. Probably not just one, but many others. And so I cannot afford to do it. And so I just had to be very specific with very specific goals. Make it readable, accessible, enjoyable, that people will appreciate my discipline, which is history. And for people to be able to say that history is something that we can actually put into use. And so those were the motivations. Why do we need that book? Why do we need to rediscover part of our history? Because it is something that we use. You know, no single Filipino has moved from being a kid to being an adult, has never encountered any of those, you know, traditional medicinal plants, one way or the other. It is just something our mothers know, our grandmothers know, and something that we take for granted. So why not, you know, why not put effort to it? And in my book, I wrote that perhaps, and I don't really, has said that probably it can be a springboard for something else. But you know, here is the data. We can use it. We can benefit from it, and use it for, you know, to benefit all of us in the period when still most of us do not have proper access to medicine, public health. But again, all these things, they fall under the shadow of these are anecdotal or kwento lang, and there are no scientific studies about it. There are, but these are inadequate. Why? Probably because they are so common. And you know, when you look at the table on the compendium of medicinal plants, the way they are prepared, they're still the same. Tinatapa, boil them, as poultice, you just put them in, they're not so appealing. Probably, mabaho, tamis. But that has always been the case. And probably that's why we think that it's just something that our mothers know, that there is no science to it. But it has existed for not just one, but several centuries, and it has worked with no proper scientific study. I mean, not all of it. I mean, a lot of those plants do not have scientific